GB 22. Femanon. Certified neat. Oh, my official title is Aspiring Digital Artist, which is what I tell my parents to justify my continued existence in their basement. In reality, my days consist of a finely tuned cycle. Wake up at noon, migrate from bed to glowing rectangle, doom scroll social media, get mad about things that don't affect me, draw half a picture, get frustrated, play video games until 4 a.m., repeat. My knowledge of the opposite sex comes exclusively from 3 sources: TikTok relationship experts, Disney movies, and the collected works of Jane Austen. As you can imagine, my understanding of modern dating is skewed in my mind. Men are supposed to be a combination of Prince Charming, a therapist, and a walking ATM. They must be 6'4", have a 6-figure job, and the emotional intelligence of a golden retriever. While they must plan extravagant dates, read my mind when I'm fine, and worship the very ground I walk on, which is currently littered with discarded snack food wrappers, I am a queen. I bring nothing to the table, but my presence is the table. This is what the infographics with pastel backgrounds tell me, and they have never been wrong before. My one tenuous link to the world of normies is my older brother, Kevin. Kevin is 26. He's not a true Chad, more like a Chad in training. He has a sensible office job, a 400 NOK, and a rotating cast of girlfriends who are all pleasant and have hobbies. He's the human equivalent of a beige Toyota Camry, reliable, functional, and utterly baffling to me. One fateful Friday night, the foundation of my carefully constructed worldview began to crumble. Kevin was having his bros over for a game night. This usually meant I'd be subjected to the sounds of dudes yelling at a virtual soccer game, the smell of cheap pizza, and the faint, ever-present aroma of male disappointment. While I was in my goblin cave, headphones on, arguing with a stranger online about the problematic undertones of a children's cartoon. A normal Friday. Around 10 p.m., my stomach rumbled. The tendy reserves were low. I crept upstairs, a veritable golem searching for his precious, deep-fried sustenance. The living room was a mess of pizza boxes and controller wires. The game was on mute, and they were just talking. I froze at the top of the stairs, hidden by shadows and my own questionable hygiene. This was it, the infamous locker room talk I'd been warned about by 1,000 angry blog posts. I was ready to be disgusted. The first voice was Dave, Kevin's friend who works in it and has a perpetually worried expression. I don't know, man. I went on a date with that girl from Hinge, Sarah. And it was like interviewing someone for a job I didn't even want. I asked her about her hobbies. She said, I don't know, watching Netflix, e.g. I asked her what she does for fun. She said, going out for drinks. I spent 2 hours pulling teeth, trying to get a single interesting sentence out of her. It was exhausting. My blood ran cold. I also like watching Netflix and going out for drinks. Was this bad? Then Mike, a burly guy who works in construction, chimed in. Dude, I know what you mean. The worst is the check. The bill comes, you put your card down, and she does that thing. The fake purse reach. That little pantomime where she pretends she was going to pay. But you were just too fast. It's so disingenuous. I'd have infinitely more respect if she just said, hey, I'm a little tight on cash. Would you mind getting this one? Or even just didn't do anything at all. The fake reach is an insult to my intelligence. I clutched the railing. I had been coached on the fake purse reach by multiple TikTok videos. It was supposed to show you were polite but still traditional. Have I been living a lie? Finally, it was my brother's turn. He let out a long sigh. See, that's why I like my new girl, Emily, Kevin said. I scoffed internally. Emily. She probably had a perfect life and a non-ironic collection of motivational posters. The other night, I was having a crap day at work. Just stressed out of my mind. I was having a crap day at work. I get to her place, and she can tell something's off. She doesn't push. She doesn't say what's wrong a million times. But she had more say was to high with you day. After an hour, I was totally relaxed. And then I told her what was wrong, and she actually listened. It's just easy. She feels like a partner, like a teammate. A teammate? A partner? What happened to being a princess? What happened to being worshipped? They weren't talking about looks. They weren't talking about looks. They weren't talking about money. They weren't talking about a woman's body count or her follower-to-following ratio. They were talking about personality, effort, companionship. I stumbled back to my room, the forgotten tendies a distant memory. My world was spinning. The pastel infographics had lied to me. Prince Charming wasn't looking for a damsel in distress to rescue. He was looking for a goddamn co-op player. The next few days were a blur. I was a woman adrift, my ideological compass spinning wildly. If the mainstream advice was wrong, then what was right? I had to know. I needed to go to the source. I needed to venture into the digital heart of darkness. Male-dominated internet spaces. I created a series of burner accounts. I put on my digital hazmat suit and prepared to dive in. My first stop was Reddit. I lurked in r/Askmen, a place I had previously assumed was just for arguing about which superhero was the strongest. The questions were a mix of mundane and profound. Men of Reddit, what's a subtle green flag on a first date? What's something you wish women knew about you? I expected the answers to be big boobs and make me a sandwich. I was not prepared for the reality. Thread after thread, the top-voted answers were shockingly reasonable. Green flag. When she actively listens and asks follow-up questions. It shows she's actually engaged and not just waiting for her turn to talk. When she's kind to the waitstaff. When she's kind to the waitstaff. You can tell everything you need to know about a person by how they treat service workers. Green flag. She has her own hobbies and passions. I don't want to be her hobby. I want it to be with someone who has a life of her own that she can share with me. I wish women knew how much a genuine, unprompted compliment means to us. A simple "you look really nice today" can make my whole week. We don't get them very often. And I wish women knew that we can't read minds. If you're upset, please just use your words and tell us why. The I'm fine game is a losing battle for everyone. I felt a deep, unsettling sense of recognition. I was the girl who didn't listen, who played the I'm fine game, who expected to be the hobby. I was the problem. This was a more horrifying revelation than finding out Santa wasn't real. My anthropological study continued. I waded through gaming forums, car enthusiast message boards, even some of the more infamous sphere blogs. While the packaging was different, ranging from helpful and supportive to angry and misogynistic, a core set of principles began to emerge from the noise. I started taking notes like a mad scientist trying to decode the human genome. Femamon's Field Guide to the Male Mind, Draft 1 Stop Playing Games. The 3-day rule, making him jealous, acting aloof. They see it for what it is, manipulative and childish. It's not mysterious. It's a giant red flag. You too. Effort is a love language. It's not about money. Offering to split the check, planning a date yourself, or just texting first shows you're as invested as he is. They get tired of being the sole engine of the relationship. 3. BA. Person first. RBA. Person first. What are your hobbies? Is not a trick question. It's a genuine attempt to find out who you are beyond your Instagram feed. I like brunch and puppies is not a personality. You have to be something. AJ Doe something. Compliments are male catnip apparently. The average man runs on a compliment deficit so severe that a single kind word about his shirt can power him for a month. This seems to be a major tactical advantage I have been neglecting. Joel 5. Direct communication is key. They are not literary critics trained to decipher the subtext of your every sigh and one-word answer. Say what you mean what you say. It's that simple and that terrifying. 6. Peace is a priority. They want a partner, not a project. Someone who adds to their life, not someone who constantly brings drama and chaos. They want their home to be a sanctuary, not a battlefield. I stared at my list. It was a manifesto for a type of woman I didn't know how to be. It was a call to action. A call to action. Try. I needed a test subject, a low-stakes entry-level male. My eyes fell upon my online university course portal. There, in my group for Introduction to Macroeconomics, was the perfect specimen. Mark. I knew nothing about Mark except that he turned in his part of the group assignments on time and his profile picture was the default gray avatar. He was a blank slate. He was perfect. Our final project was due in a week. This was my chance. Normally, my contribution to a group project is to silently email my completed slides and then vanish into the digital ether. But not this time. I was going to be an engaged team member. I opened our group chat. I'm on Maya, guys. Just finished my slides on supply-side economics. Mark, your analysis of Keynesian theory was really well written. A compliment. In the wild, a few minutes passed. The Mark is typing. Bubble appeared and disappeared. He was probably so shocked he was having a stroke. Mark. Oh, thanks. Yours were good too. The graphs were clear. It wasn't much, but it was a start. The next day, I made my next move. I remembered from the first day's Icebreaker forum that Mark had mentioned he was into PC gaming. I spent a solid hour on YouTube watching everything you need to know about Cyber Stallion 7, the Giga Reckoning lore videos. My brain was melting, but I was on a mission. She. Random question, Mark, but I saw you were into gaming. Did you play the new Cyber Stallion DLC? I heard the ending was a total mind-bender. The response was instantaneous. Wow, you play Cyber Stallion? The ending was insane. I can't believe they killed off General Torquefist, and the moral choice with the Quantum Queen? I'm still thinking about it. What did you choose? I'd created a monster. A beautiful, passionate monster who was now typing a novel's worth of text into our econ group chat. I fumbled through a response using the knowledge my YouTube sensei had bestowed upon me. We talked about the game for the rest of the evening. It was the most I'd talked to a guy who wasn't related to me in 5 years. The project was submitted. Our academic alliance was officially over. It was now or never. My heart was hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. I typed and deleted my message 10 times. Just be direct. Say what you mean. Hi, I actually had fun working on this project with you. To celebrate being done with macroeconomics forever, I'm gonna go grab a coffee from that place near campus. You should join if you're not busy. I threw my phone across the bed as if it were a grenade. A minute later, it buzzed. A Mark, yeah? That sounds great. I could use a coffee. See you in 21. I put on actual real-life jeans. It felt strange. I walked to the coffee shop, a frantic internal monologue playing on loop. What if I run out of things to say? What if he thinks I'm weird? What if I forget how to use my legs? He was already there, sitting at a small table, looking just as nervous as I felt. We did the awkward little wave. I ordered my coffee. He ordered his. And then came the moment of truth, the financial transaction. As the barista said the total, I did the unthinkable. I pulled out my card. But I've got this, I said, my voice only shaking a little. My treat for you not completely bailing on the project like everyone else does. Mark blinked. It was like I had just solved a complex math equation in front of him. Oh, wow. You really don't have to, he stammered. How about I get the coffees and you get a pastry or something? We can split the difference. We split it. There was no fake purse reach, no awkward dance. Just a simple, fair transaction between two people. It was revolutionary. The conversation was stilted at first. We talked about the class, the professor, the weather. Standard normie small talk. I remembered my training. Be interested. Ask questions. I asked. His face lit up. He started talking about his Dungeons and Dragons group, the miniatures he painted, the campaigns he was designing. He wasn't just talking me. He was sharing a piece of his world. Then he turned the tables. What about you? You mentioned you're an artist? Well, old me would have mumbled something about just doodling and changed the subject. The new me took a deep breath. Yeah, I'm working on a webcomic right now. It's a sci-fi thing. It's hard to stay motivated, but I'm really proud of the character designs I've come up with. That's so cool, he said, his eyes wide with genuine interest. I'd love to see it sometime, if you're comfortable sharing. And my heart did a little flutter. He didn't think it was weird or nerdy. He thought it was cool. The coffee was almost gone. It was time for the final boss, the ultimate technique. Rule #4, the compliment. I took a steadying breath. You know, I said, trying to sound casual, that's a really nice sweater. The green brings out your eyes. It was like I had cast a stun spell. The Mark froze mid-sip. He slowly lowered his cup. He looked down at his decidedly unremarkable green sweater, as if he'd never seen it before. He looked back up at me. A faint blush crept up his neck. Oh, he said, the word coming out as a little puff of air. Thanks. My sister got it for me for Christmas. Yeah, thanks. He smiled. A real genuine smile that wasn't born of anxiety or social obligation. It was a super effective hit. I had won. We walked out of the coffee shop into the late afternoon sun. Well, hey, he said, shuffling his feet. This was really nice. I honestly didn't think you'd want to hang out. Usually I have to be the one to, you know. I gestured vaguely, a universal sign for undertake the entire emotional and logistical labor of initiating a relationship. To you, I smiled, feeling a strange new confidence bubbling up inside me. Well, I said, quoting the sacred texts, effort is a two-way street, right? He looked at me, and I could see the puzzle pieces clicking into place in his mind. He saw me not as some enigmatic creature to be decoded, but as another player who knew the rules of the game. Yeah, he said, a look of profound relief on his face. Yeah, it really is. It'd be me, Femanon, a month later. My basement room is cleaner. Still not clean, but cleaner. Mark and I are going out again this weekend. We're going to a board game cafe. It was his idea. I picked the place. Teamwork. My old worldview, the one built on a foundation of TikTok delusions and romantic comedy logic, has been demolished. In its place, something new and far more sturdy is being built. I learned that men aren't mysterious, mind-reading aliens. They're not all chads looking for a trophy or resentful trolls hiding in the dark. Most of them are just, Mark, most of them are just a little nervous, a little nerdy, and desperately hoping for a co-op partner in this stupid, confusing single-player game called life. They're not looking for a goddess or a queen to put on a pedestal. They're looking for a friend they can kiss. Someone who will listen to them talk about their D&D campaign, and someone who will show them their webcomic designs. It was never about being high value. It was about having value to begin with. It was about being a person. I still have a long way to go. I need to finish that webcomic. I need to learn how to talk to people without a script. But for the first time in a long time, it doesn't feel impossible. The secret to what men want wasn't a secret at all. It was just being the kind of person you'd want to date too. When my phone buzzes, it's Mark. Hey, saw this and thought of your webcomic. The art style is kind of similar. Hope you're having a good day. What's a link to another artist's portfolio? He was thinking of me. What feels good, man? JPG.